The mere mention of Oak Island automatically conjures tales of mystery and treasure. But this time, the situation is different. What the cameras have captured has astonished everyone. Something has been discovered deep inside the pit, shocking history, science, and logic. Many are saying that Oak Island's $110 million treasure has finally been found. But has it really happened? Or is this just the beginning of a bigger mystery? The metal box and strange markings found by the team during the excavation are considered the biggest discovery yet. But the most frightening thing is that when the box was pulled out, something was revealed inside that stunned everyone. Was it just gold or a message from an ancient civilization? The fear and surprise in the eyes of Rick and Marty's team made fans' hearts race. People on social media are going crazy. Some are saying Templar treasure. Others are saying the government is now hiding the truth. Everyone is asking just one question. Has the mystery of Oak Island finally been solved? But the truth may not be that simple. If you want to know what happened that night and who the box belonged to, watch the full video because what follows will change your mind. Like, comment, share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe, because the next Oak Island mystery is yet to come. Nearly 200 years ago, this mysterious place called Oak Island was just a small speck on the world map. But when 3 boys digging in the ground discovered strange layers of wood, stones, and old tools, everything changed. They dug a hole, later dubbed the Money Pit. Initially, people thought it was part of an old well, but as they went deeper, they discovered wooden beams and different layers of soil every 10 feet, marked with old marks and black coal-like spots. It seemed as if someone had carefully hidden something there. As the years passed, the mystery deepened. Many people excavated here, but each time the hole would fill with water, stopping the excavation. Some said these were booby traps, built to protect a treasure. Eventually, the place became known as a cursed island. The Curse of Oak Island. Legend has it that 7 people would die before the true treasure was uncovered. 6 people have lost their lives so far. And perhaps this fear and excitement make this place even more mysterious. Over the years, theories have added depth to this story. Some say it's the hidden treasure of the pirate Captain Kidd. Others believe it's the sacred treasure of the Knights Templar, the same one that disappeared from Jerusalem. Some even suggest that the lost gold of Spanish explorers is hidden here. And many scientists claim it's all just a geological illusion, a play of the Earth's layers and natural caves. But who knows the truth? This mystery is what makes Oak Island one of the most famous excavations in the world. Now comes the new discovery. 2 of Oak Island's most dedicated explorers, Rick and Marty Lagina, revived the mission. They abandoned old methods and adopted modern technology. With the start of a new season, they harbored a new hope. This time, we'll find something big. The team scanned the entire area with high-tech equipment. LiDAR measured the precise contours of the ground, sonar tracked every movement underwater, and muon detection uncovered metallic structures hidden deep within. For excavation, they chose Garden Shaft, which had been closed several times before. Marty said, "If someone has hidden something, it's here." After working day and night, when the team began drilling, the machines showed strange readings. It seemed as if something large and metallic was buried beneath the ground. The crew's faces showed a look of fatigue, yet hope. Rick bent down and touched the soil and said with a smile, "This place is different from all the others." At that moment, even the camera crew fell silent. There was a strange silence in the air, as if the ground itself was about to reveal a secret. The metallic sounds coming from beneath the excavator made everyone's heart race. Everyone knew, this time, something big was about to happen. Perhaps Oak Island was about to answer its 200-year-old mystery for the first time. As the excavation progressed, the team began receiving strange signals from underground. The machine's sensors suddenly began displaying unusual metallic readings. At first, everyone thought it must be a mistake, but the readings kept coming from the same point, right below the garden shaft. When they turned the scanner back on, the needle went completely into the red zone. It seemed as if a large metallic object was present beneath. Tension rose in the air, and everyone's eyes were fixed on the monitor. Rick said softly, "This place is saying something." As the excavator began to dig deeper into the area, the machine's arm suddenly stopped moving. The hydraulic system jammed. The operator tried again, but nothing happened. Marty angrily asked, "Why does this thing keep getting stuck?" The mechanic came and inspected the machine. There was no mechanical issue. It seemed as if some magnetic force underground was preventing the excavation. Curiosity, along with a slight fear, was now evident on the crew's faces. Everyone whispered, "Is there a magnetic field down there? Or something more substantial?" The team called in an expert. The scientist scanning with the equipment said, "It's a magnetic anomaly, but the readings are very powerful. A field this strong couldn't come from a natural source." Hearing this, Rick and Marty looked at each other. Both understood that something extremely unusual was afoot. The excavation was no longer a simple dig. It had reached the brink of mystery and danger. The whistling of the wind and the sounds of the machines in the background made the atmosphere more terrifying. The suspense deepened with each passing second. Finally, the machine was manually overridden, and the excavation continued. A few feet down, suddenly, there was a heavy crash in the excavator's bucket. A clang, as if something had struck solid metal. The cameras zoomed in, and everyone's breath held. The soil was removed, revealing a massive metal object. It was dark brown in color and coated with a thick layer of rust, but faint symbols were visible beneath it, some circular shapes, some cross-like markings that didn't look ordinary at all. Marty examined it carefully and said, "This doesn't look like a normal artifact." Rick brushed away the dirt with his hand, and suddenly a small symbol became clearly visible, something resembling a Templar cross. At that very moment, a faint shimmer appeared on the camera lens, as if some energy was moving in the surrounding air. One of the crew members timidly asked, "Sir, is this thing moving?" Rick smiled, but his eyes held surprise. "Maybe we've found what we've been searching for centuries." That moment was etched in Oak Island history. The crew retrieved the object, but its surface was so heavy and cold that everyone had to wear gloves. The symbols engraved on it looked like a warning written in the language of an ancient civilization. Marty said, "This isn't just metal. This is a message." The suspense in the air thickened. In the background, only the faint flicker of excavation lights and the metallic echoes of the ground could be heard. Oak Island was beginning to reveal its secrets, and this was just the beginning. As soon as the mysterious metal object emerged, an awkward silence fell over the entire team. No one knew if it was safe to touch it. Some members immediately backed away and put on masks. Marty shouted, "Wait! Don't touch it directly!" A faint heat emanated from the object, and the compass around it began to spin. Fear spread through the crew. "Is it radioactive? Or some ancient curse?" Rick said softly. "Whatever it is, it can't be ignored anymore." Everyone decided to put the object in a containment box and send it to the lab. The camera showed just that glistening piece of iron covered in mud, which became a question in everyone's eyes. The next day, the lab report came, and it shocked everyone. The scientists said, "The composition of this metal doesn't match any known alloy. It contains rare elements that don't occur naturally on Earth." Marty was shocked. "Does this mean this thing isn't from Earth?" The expert shrugged and said, "We can't say that, but scientifically, it's impossible." Rick's eyes sparkled, but fear tinged as well. So, is Oak Island not just a treasure story, but a story from another world? The eerie sound in the background gradually increased, as if some invisible force was now watching them from beneath the ground. Meanwhile, the radar team detected another anomaly near the excavation site. This time, the readings were even deeper, about 200 feet below. A clear outline of a large box or chamber-like structure was visible on the ground-penetrating radar monitor. Rick said, "If this is the same place, then perhaps the real mystery is about to be revealed." The team wasted no time in digging. Upon removing the soil, they discovered a stone wall with carved marks. Marty placed his hand on the wall and said, "This isn't an ordinary wall. Someone sealed it." After hours of labor, when the stone was removed, a deep crack opened and a gust of air gushed out, cold, heavy, and filled with a strange smell. The camera lens fogged up. One worker, covering his nose, said, "I've never smelled this before." A peek inside revealed a small circular chamber, surrounded by stone walls and a large sealed box in the center. Amidst the glow of lights, the symbols engraved on the box were the same ones seen on the artifact found earlier. Rick said, "Dim the lights." As they touched the box, the cameras flickered and a faint humming sound was heard in the background, as if the chamber itself were alive. A static energy lingered in the air, making the crew's hair stand on end. Marty exclaimed in astonishment, "This isn't just any ordinary treasure. It's something else." Everyone held their breath. No one knew what lay inside that sealed box, but it was clear that Oak Island was no longer just a place, but a gateway to some unknown power. When the team finally opened the sealed box, the entire atmosphere froze for a few seconds. What was revealed inside stunned everyone. The box contained gold coins, glittering jewelry, and strangely shaped artifacts. Some items appeared so old that they were covered in a thick layer of rust and dirt. When light fell on the coins, the entire chamber was filled with a golden glow. Someone softly exclaimed, "Oh my God! This is treasure!" Marty replied shakily, "And it's not just any small amount. It must be worth over 100 million. Experts later estimated the total value to be around 110 million. The crew's faces were filled with a flurry of expressions. Some were shouting with joy, while others remained completely silent. Rick sat in the mud, staring at the box, as if he couldn't wake up from a dream. After a few minutes, he softly said, "We've unearthed not just gold, but history." There was pride in his eyes, but also a deep unease, as if he realized that the bigger the discovery, the greater its impact. The team carefully removed the artifacts, the cameras kept rolling, and the world's greatest discovery was captured. But no one knew that everything was about to change in the next few hours. Suddenly, the next morning, there was a commotion around the excavation site. Official trucks and black SUVs surrounded the site. People were evacuated, and the area was sealed off for security reasons. Rick and Marty were shown a document stating that the excavation had been temporarily suspended. They protested, but the officials said nothing. They simply said, "This matter is now under federal jurisdiction." Within hours, the cameras were turned off and the workers were removed from the site. Tension filled the air. and all of Oak Island fell silent once again. As the news spread on social media, a fire broke out. Theories flooded Reddit and Twitter. Did they find old Vatican documents? Was it ancient technology? Or is the government hiding something that will shake the world? Fans were outraged. Why is the truth being hidden? Rick and Marty are not being allowed to speak. Hashtags like Uurch Oak Island, Truth and Fuartur Hidden Treasure began trending. Marty said in a private message, "We saw something unexplainable, but we are forbidden to speak." This one line deepened the mystery. People now believed that this discovery wasn't just about treasure, perhaps something that could change history. The Vididu excavation site was now closed, but questions lingered in the air. Has Oak Island told the last of its story? Or is this just the beginning? Although the excavation of Oak Island may have stopped after government intervention, the barrage of questions persisted. Following the discovery, experts and researchers worldwide scrambled to unravel the mystery. A renowned historian said, "These artifacts look exactly like Knights Templar relics." He showed old church records that mentioned the disappearance of the Templar Order's treasure in the 1300s. According to the historian, it's possible that the treasure was brought from Europe to America and hidden on Oak Island. People were astonished. Have centuries-old sacred objects now been discovered? A scientist offered a completely opposite perspective. He said, "It may not be a relic, but a natural magnetic core." He believed that rare minerals and metals exist beneath Oak Island's ground, producing strange electromagnetic readings. He supported this theory with scientific data, but fans wondered why the government would seal the site if it were simply a mineral deposit. This debate divided people into two groups: science on one side, mystery on the other. Some experts even suggested that the site could be part of an ancient machine or energy source. According to them, the symbols and humming sound resembled mechanical resonance, suggesting something had been activated there. Some archaeologists believe the site could be a secret burial ground, the final resting place of a lost civilization. The debate was no longer just about gold, but touched the boundaries of history, religion, and science. Social media erupted with theories. Hashtags like Chachach Oak Island Treasure, Chachcha Government Cover-Up, and Chachan Templar Gold began trending on Reddit and Twitter. Some were saying, "The government suppressed the truth," while others wrote, "Even NASA is involved." Some even began formulating their own theories by extracting old maps and satellite images. Fan-made documentaries began appearing on YouTube, suggesting that Oak Island was actually part of a cosmic alignment where ancient energy lines meet. Every day, a new theory emerged, but no one was able to provide an answer. Throughout all this, Rick Lagina remained completely silent. The media tried to speak to him several times, but he remained silent. A few days later, in an exclusive interview, he sat alone before the camera. His eyes were dark with fatigue and deep thought. The camera zoomed in, and he said softly, "I saw something. Something I can't explain." There was silence for a few seconds. Then he continued, "We went there to look for gold, but what we found changed us." Rick's voice trembled, but his words held truth. He said, "There wasn't just treasure in that chamber. There was something that made me realize that history lives underground, not just in books." There was fear and respect in his eyes, as if he had glimpsed something beyond human comprehension. There was a moment of silence before the camera. Rick looked into the camera and said, "People say we're lying, but I can only say this: some secrets are too costly to reveal." Hearing this line, even the interviewer was speechless. In that moment, the audience realized that the story of Oak Island wasn't just a quest, but an emotional journey, one of fear, hope, and the search for truth. Rick made one last eye contact with the camera and said, "If you think this was just a treasure, you're missing out." His voice echoed, as if he were warning the world. The screen slowly faded, and his line echoed in the background. Some secrets reveal themselves when we stop prodding them. The mystery of Oak Island deepened once again, but this time everyone knew it would never be the same. The discovery of Oak Island sent social media into a global uproar. Hashtags like "Your Oak Island Treasure" and "On Templar Gold" trended for hours on Twitter. Some said, "This is all staged, a drama for a show," while others called it divine intervention. Perhaps God himself willed the truth to come out now. Long threads sprang up on Reddit, with users sharing their theories. Some were retrieving old maps, others were matching them with NASA magnetic data, and some even claimed to have seen the chamber's pattern in satellite images. A flood of reactions erupted on YouTube. Some said, "This isn't just gold, it's a message from an ancient civilization." Scientists commented on the video, "Such signals can also come from natural minerals. Don't consider it divine." But the public was divided. Some people jokingly created memes, drawing Gold Rush 2.0 or the real pirates of Nova Scotia over pictures of Rick and Marty. Several news channels sensationalized the situation. One anchor dramatically questioned, "Will the treasure found on Oak Island change world history?" While another channel debated, "Treasure or trick?" But as much as the media buzzed, Rick and Marty's team remained silent. The excavation site remained closed, and no one was allowed to visit. Fans continued to demand that the government release the entire footage, but there was no response. Some wrote, "If all this is true, why aren't we being shown?" While others believed, somewhere, there's a bigger secret being suppressed. Oak Island was no longer just a show, but had become one of the biggest mysteries of the modern era. Meanwhile, Rick Lagina and his team returned to the site, but excavation had been halted. When they spoke with the radar team, they discovered that there were more metallic readings beneath the chamber, meaning something buried deeper, yet untouched. Marty said, "We could have reached it. We just needed one more day." But now everything was in the government's hands. Looking into the soil, Rick said in a low voice, "We've only touched the surface. What lies beneath is perhaps the true face of history." Hearing that line sent shivers down everyone's spine. The camera zoomed in on Rick's face. There was both fear and unfulfilled curiosity. Silence hung in the air. Only the distant sound of ocean waves could be heard, as if Oak Island itself was speaking. Excavation had ceased, but the readings from underground clearly indicated that the story wasn't over yet. The narrator's voice slowly echoes. Did Oak Island just give us a glimpse of itself? Is there something down there that could change the world forever? The camera lights go out one by one, and Rick's voice is heard in the background. What we saw was greater than any treasure, but perhaps humanity isn't ready for that truth. The screen slowly fades. One final line appears. The mystery of Oak Island isn't over yet. Whatever lies beneath is still waiting. Then the channel's CTA appears. If you think there's still something left in the depths of Oak Island, share your theory in the comments. Like, share, and don't forget to subscribe, because next time we'll go to a place where history still breathes. The discovery of Oak Island sparked debate across the globe. To shed light on this mystery, a special expert roundtable was convened, where experts from 3 different fields, an archaeologist, a metallurgist, and a historian, sat face to face. The room was dimly lit, and a large 3D holographic model of the Oak Island excavation rotated in the center. The archaeologist said, "The symbols and structures found there appear to be the work of an ancient civilization. This clearly shows that a highly intelligent society hid something here." According to him, this discovery could change the course of history. The metallurgist immediately responded, "But all this couldn't have been the work of an ancient society. The elements found in the metal samples are difficult to reproduce, even with modern science. This material is probably made of an unknown alloy, or comes from a source we haven't yet discovered." Everyone fell silent after hearing his words. The scientist said, "If this is true, then we must admit that what was found on Oak Island is beyond the normal limits of Earth." The historian then said, "I think this is something greater than gold or metal. It's a message, a symbol of knowledge. Perhaps they deliberately placed it here so that future generations could discover and learn from it." The archaeologist smiled. "So you're saying that it's more of a warning or a sign than a treasure?" The historian nodded. "Yes, sometimes the real treasure isn't gold, but the knowledge that gives us the courage to understand history." The three experts' theories clashed, but each one reflected a strange truth. The atmosphere in the room became mysterious and solemn. The question now was the $110 million treasure found on Oak Island truly wealth, or something beyond our understanding? Was it a message from a lost civilization, or the plan of some divine force? The more the discussion progressed, the more the mystery deepened. And this was Oak Island's greatest strength. It raised more questions than it answered. The scene gradually darkens. The narrator's voice echoes, "Has Oak Island revealed its biggest secret? Or is this just another door leading to a greater truth?" Visuals show an aerial shot of the excavation site, where only traces of machinery and dust billowing in the air remain. The sound of ocean waves can be heard in the background, as if conveying a secret message. The camera slowly zooms down over the sealed chamber, where metallic readings are still coming. A line appears on the dark screen. Some mysteries choose their own answers. Then comes the narrator's final line. "Perhaps Oak Island is not just a place, but a mirror in which humanity can see both its curiosity and greed." The audio slowly fades, and the visuals turn to a black screen. In the final shot, Rick's voice echoes, "We may have found the treasure, but the truth remains buried." Text then appears on the screen. The mystery of Oak Island lives on, and the next chapter is yet to come. Slow, mysterious music plays in the background, a tone that forces viewers to think. The final line flashes on the screen. If you think Oak Island has revealed its truth, then leave a comment below. What do you think the real secret was? Then comes the channel's CTA. Like, share, and don't forget to subscribe, because there's still so much more to discover in the depths of Oak Island.